And welcome back to coverage here at the Innistrad Championship. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon. We've got more winning in action for you here in the last round of Swiss. We're filling up those top eight seats. We just had Zachary Keeney take one, and now it's Tristan Wylde-LaRue on the left versus Simon Görtzen. And as you can see, it's Izzet Epiphany again, but this time mono black zombies. The winner is into the top 8. And you know, Paul, I have to say, I have to imagine that Simon is favored here, given the fact that he played a pretty offbeat deck with mono black zombies. There's no way he'd play a deck like that had a bad matchup against Izzet, right? Like, come on.
I mean, that's what I would guess, right? I mean, taking a closer look here at Simon's list, what it really looks like he did was he kind of took that mono black control shell that you've seen, for example, Raph Levy submit, and kind of added some other cards to make it basically have a more proactive approach, right? So he is playing, you know, cards like Meathook Massacre still in the main, which isn't so good in this matchup. But you know what he wants, but he does have the possibility of running over these Izzet control decks because he has cards like Champion of the Perished, like Jadar Ghoul-Caller of Nephalia to give some beatdowns in the early phases of the match.
Okay, well, a little bit slow. No one drop out the gate here, but he does have Jadar Ghoul-Caller of Nephalia out. And Tristan's going to snap that off before there's any zombies to be seen. Spikefield Hazard's going to send it packing and also exile it, which is of note, given that Simon has Undead Butler in hand as well. Now he gets to play Headless Rider, and these are just hard. These are just cards that are a pain to get rid of.
Yeah.
Like
Spikefield Hazard is good, but it's got a lot of juicy targets. It's got to do a lot of extra work here. This does seem like the type of matchup, given how value-oriented a lot of Simon's creatures are. This is one of those matchups where, you know, sometimes you can just play the role of control deck and just beat your opponents that way. But in this matchup, you might just want to be looking to go for the combo.
Looks like Tristan's interested in keeping his life total as high as possible here. Going to Demon Bolt a Headless Rider. That's going to result in a 2/2 zombie here for Görtzen. Then he gets to follow up with, well, whatever he wants here. Oh, he's also got Malakir Rebirth in hand, but he's not going to fire it.
Yeah, I imagine he probably wants to just play that out as a land, right? He's got the Lolth in hand. So maybe just running out another threat here and then just playing out the Malakir Rebirth.
That makes sense. Yeah, he has a lot of things that he wants to do with 5 mana. He also could play Butler plus Fellstinger in the same turn. So, yeah. Plus, it's only a slight downgrade. I mean, the creature goes from a 3/1 to a 2/2. It's not like it's not like it's off the battlefield or anything like that. Well, these unexpected windfalls better have some action here for Tristan because that's all he's got going.
Yeah. But he is at 20 life, right? I mean, he did have the Hazard. He did have the Demon Bolt. So he's really just preserving his life total as much as he can until he can find his Epiphany and find a Galvanic Iteration.
Okay, here comes the windfall.
Or both?
Oh, how about both of them there for you, Paul? Jeez, good call. And here comes Fellstinger as well. And Simon's going to actually sacrifice Fellstinger to itself. He's looking to hit that 5th land drop here. Get the Butler down and then follow up with Lolth Spider Queen.
Oh, yeah, and of course that makes sense because you get a 2/2 out of the deal here anyways.
Yeah, that's right. Any zombies die, you're going to get the 2/2 thanks to the Headless Rider. He did hit the Swamp. He also has Infernal Grasp, but he wants to stay on the front foot here. Undead Butler's going to go on the stack. That's going to resolve. And what does Tristan's mana situation look like here? So he has Galvanic Iteration and Alrund's Epiphany, but he'll only have 7 mana total on his turn.
He will, but the thing is, I mean, he is at 15 life. He can still afford to take a hit from Simon's side of the battlefield. Simon's representing 8 damage next turn, so very likely that you're gonna see Tristan wait a turn here, and probably either look to go, foretell the Alrund's Epiphany or fire off the Windfall, and then just go for the combo next turn anyways. Simon's list does not play any hand disruption in the main, so that's not something that he needs to be worried about, right? He has a bunch of duresses and what have you in the sideboard, but I don't believe he has any hand disruption main, so he can just choose to wait on that combo and just cast Unexpected Windfall here instead.
What a weird deck, huh? Mono black, no hand disruption, just jamming.
Yeah, just
how
mono
good
black.
How good is Lolth here?
It's okay. I mean,
Just okay, right?
yeah, this is just a lot of creatures. The thing is, Simon also has to be. You can't just completely scoop the creature matchups, right? So with his deck, he still needs to have a nice mixture of the ability to put on an aggressive curve
Right.
for Izzet, while also still making sure you don't just roll over and die to the aggressive strategies in the format, which is still half the field.
There's a fading hope there for Tristan. He
Oh,
also found Cinderclasm.
jeez.
Holy smokes. And a divide by 0.
This Cinderclasm is insane.
It's all of them.
It just gets everything. Yeah.
It does. The Undead Butler will help. The Headless Rider will help, right? Simon isn't just completely bare to a sweeper. But look at this. Tristan sees the line. He's going to go for the Alrund's Epiphany right here, burn up a bunch of his treasure, but he gets the double trouble here as well off of the Galvanic Iteration. That's 4/1/1 flying birds. Does he need to get rid of these spiders?
Yeah, I mean, so he's gonna get a turn here. He's gonna need to find something here with this thirst. Okay.
How about another Alrund's Epiphany?
That's something that you can do. So now he has 2 more turns lined up. And look, he wants his land drops, right? It's really important for him to have 8 mana next turn to cast Iteration into Epiphany.
And he will have just that much, thanks to the treasure. He's going to Fading Hope away one of the spiders. Remember, they do have reach, so they could threaten to trade, and he wants to get in for the most amount of damage possible. He's ignoring Lolth, by the way. Just who cares?
Right, because let's take a look at the clock here, right? We're at 15, and then we're going to get 4 more birds and 2 attacks. So is he 1 short of lethal?
Well, here comes the Epiphany with the Galvanic Iteration.
Right, because you get... Oh, excuse me, no, because you get to attack this turn. Right, of course.
For 3, so down to 12.
This is more than enough here. So yeah, this should lock it up.
Yeah, he's got 7, so he can get it for 14 this turn and the next. And that's Tristan Wylde-LaRue picking up a victory. Boy, that, what was it, a windfall? I can't remember. They draw 2, and all of a sudden he had all the combo pieces ready to go.
Yeah, the unexpected. Well, I mean, you were saying how he needed to find his combo pieces. Well, he found them immediately. There was no further digging that needed to be had.
Yeah, really nicely done there by Tristan. Now things are going to get interesting. So Simon gets to consult the sideboard, and you mentioned that, he's got stuff to bring in. We see Go Blank just jumping into the main deck here for Simon Görtzen. That's the type of card he wants to see.
Yeah, I imagine this will get a lot better. And when you look at Simon's sideboard, it does show you that he is concerned for this matchup, right? 4 Duress, triple Go Blank, and an Inscription here for this matchup. So a lot of hand disruption here. And I mean, we've seen this historically in the past. When you sideboard into Duresses and a clock, oftentimes, that's what you need to have this at least be a 50-50 matchup after sideboard. And given that Simon is 3-1 so far in this tournament against these various Epiphany decks, he must have done very, very well in these post-board games.
Yeah, I really like the Go Blanks here as well. This deck does have some graveyard stuff, with the iterations and things like that. But it also just knocks 2 cards out of your hand. And, when you look at the way that these decks play, they build up mana quickly, and then they burn it all in one big shot, but then get it back over the next few turns by taking extra turns or by creating treasure. But if you snap off 2 cards from their hand before they have that initial buildup, they have to make a tough decision on, do I want to keep the lands that I'm going to need, or do I want to keep the spells that are going to win me the game, but they cost 7 mana or maybe 6 mana with like Galvanic Iteration and Unexpected Windfall or a Foretold Epiphany or something like that. And, it kind of has this like peak and then go back down. But if you can keep them from getting to that peak, you can win.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Really curious to see how this one plays out post board. Tristan so close to a top 8 here, a win away. Just needs, 5/5/5 mulligan to 5, something like that. And he'll find himself there. Simon Görtzen on the other side. It's business time. He's got 2 wins to make up here to secure that top 8 seat.
Yeah, really wanted to find some kind of a 1-drop here. Champion of the Perished or a Duress to kind of start things off.
Looks like both players really hesitant to keep these hands. They're just, a mana slot off of where they'd like to be in both cases.
Yeah, I mean, Tristan's hand is again it's pretty solid. Oh, and that made his hand a lot better. I mean, he doesn't, of course, know what Simon has in hand, but now he has a way to potentially kill a one toughness creature into disruption into divide by zero.
Wow, there's a Headless Rider off the top as well. Here comes Tainted Adversary, though. It's just going to be cast straight up. So 2/3 Death Toucher, ready to rumble.
Yeah, and Tristan's hand's actually beautiful relative to kind of how Simon's hand is set up here, right? I mean, Simon's probably going to want to play a 3-drop here, unless, given that he drew that adversary, he's going to want to play around a potential disruption and just play out another 2/3 here instead.
Yeah, he might want to do that. It also plays around card like Spikefield Hazard or, some of the smaller burn spells. 3 toughness on Tainted Adversaries, pretty beefy. And, there's a Spikefield Hazard. Then even though Tristan didn't end up needing it, we saw Cinderclasm from his deck as well. And Simon's certainly going to be aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, the play could very easily just be Snow Covered Swamp, Tainted Adversary, and really, I mean, just the way that the removal spells line up, Tristan's deck doesn't have that many good answers. Wow, nice.
Very nice by Simon. He gets to play around multiple spells this way, not just Dwari Disruption, but also Spikefield Hazard. And that's exactly what Tristan has. Nice play from Simon. He's got 4 power on the board. So far hasn't been messed with. There's another Headless Rider. I think he would have preferred an untapped land here.
Yeah, but...
And he's going to get snapped off here.
Yeah, at this point, you can't really play around. You have to just, of course, keep putting things onto the battlefield here.
Mm-hmm. And does he want to play the land?
I think so.
Yeah, it feels like it with Fellstinger in hand.
Right, and if you draw a 1-drop next turn, right? If you draw a Duress next turn, you want to be able to maybe go Duress into your 3-drop. Right. I think I know it's a really good trick. It's a Snakeskin Veil Light, but but even then, I think it's just too important to not miss your land drop there.
All right, how close is Tristan getting here? We see double Unexpected Windfall and 4 mana now. Usually this is where the fireworks start to go. We did draw the 1-drop, Paul. Champion of the Perished goes into hand. This is where it's critical for Simon to keep the pressure up by just putting stuff on the stack over and over and not giving Tristan that opening to just go, okay, I'll just cast an Unexpected Windfall. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to force Tristan to cast a Divide by Zero here instead of play one of his 4 mana card draw effects. This is the perfect turn to, play your biggest threats.
Okay, he's going to go with Champion of the Perished into Fellstinger, and this is going to be Unexpected Windfall in response here.
Yeah, and then he can still sack a treasure and Spikefield Hazard to kill the Champion of the Parish that's in play.
Okay, that'll put a tough decision here for Simon.
Tristan doesn't have an actual removal spell. Simon might...
Does he just say no?
Maybe you just keep the Stinger in play here. No? Okay.
Simon does not hit his land drop, but he hits a second, or I should say a 3rd Tainted Adversary and an Inscription of Ruin. He still has 5 power on the battlefield. But those land drops are flowing here for Tristan. And this is going to start getting awkward. Here's Champion of the Perished for Simon. Bam. 5 damage comes in. And Tristan's down to just 5 life. Big turns coming up soon, though. You see Behold the Multiverse, Unexpected Windfall in hand, Divide by 0 times 2.
Well, you said it before. Tristan wants to find that combo.
He does. Here it is. Unexpected Windfall in response to Go Blank. And he doesn't find the combo this time. It's Cinderclasm and Expressive Iteration. And this is before Go Blank resolves. So 2 of the cards out of the 5 here have to go away for Tristan. Oh boy. Go Blank is nasty in this matchup.
Yeah, it's very strong. I mean, all of these cards are fantastic here for Tristan. He wants to keep some of his removal. Of course, I mean, he's just dead next turn, right? If he doesn't fire off some way to disrupt what Simon has in play, that Tainted Adversary is actually really annoying because you don't really want to bounce it at this point Because if Simon draws a land, Simon can just replay it and give you 2 Decayed Zombies.
Yeah, when you're at 5 life.
I think Tristan wants to keep at least one of the card draw spells that he has in his hand. Looking to go for the cheaper one here in the iteration.
Okay, so his hand is now Cinderclasm, Expressive Iteration, Divide by 0. He has 5 mana plus 3 treasures. I should say 5 lands plus 3 treasures. And there's Champion of the Perished. And now Smoldering Egg.
So I think Tristan's play, it looks like he's just going to set up for Smoldering Egg Cinderclasm here. Pass.
Ooh, he's going to have to use a treasure now.
Oh, the tapping.
That's a little awkward.
Oh.
I think he wanted to tap the island instead of the mountain, but
you don't have to go with think. That's he definitely wanted to do that one.
Yeah,
now, to be fair, there's a really, really high probability that he's gonna cast this Divide by 0 this turn.
Okay.
But yes, that was still not ideal here. You go Divide by 0, and if you can make it so that your Smoldering Egg survives, that's 6 counters on the egg. You go get your Environmental Sciences, flip the egg, then cast Iteration. That's 2 damage to a potential creature that Simon plays.
Right, that's really a must answer here. And taking a look at Simon's hand, it's Headless Rider, Tainted Adversary. He's got a Swamp, and it looks like he's going to go for Inscription of Ruin right now.
Yeah, so
destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less is the mode that he's chosen. He's not kicking it. It's quite a bit off from that.
Yeah, and I think you just have to do this and maybe try to hit 2 spells so that you can kill that Tainted Adversary that's in play.
He grabs Teachings of the Archaics off of the Divide by 0.
Oh,
and there's Tainted Adversary number 2 hitting the battlefield. And these are really annoying for Tristan. They have Death Touch so they can attack through an 0/4, and they have 3 toughness.
Ooh. Oh, he can't cast it, though.
Puh. He did end up needing to use up all of his treasure, did Tristan, so burn down the house. Now, let's just say the house will be standing for this turn.
Right, and this Teaching is likely just going to be discarded here. And probably just casting it now in case he finds a Spikefield Hazard. Those would be really good here, right? Cinderclasm would also be fantastic.
Oh, he did hit the Spikefield Hazard as well as Expressive Iteration.
And this keeps him alive, right?
Yes, very precarious position.
But he knows that his dragon is likely to die, given that Simon has Inscription of Ruin.
Right, and then you're going to be at 1?
And you're going to be at 1. So you're going to attack given that Simon has the Inscription, and then you're going to need to find an answer to the adversary. I mean, I guess if you don't think the life total is relevant, you just force the Inscription instead of something else.
Right, because that means that Simon must spend his mana to get the dragon.
Oh, wow, this is great here if you're Simon. So now you can go Infernal Grasp on Ashmouth Dragon and make him discard the final 2 cards. Then Tristan will have absolutely nothing, and we will be down to 1 life.
So he'll be stone cold top decking on 0 cards, and Tristan's going to be very bummed to see that Infernal Grasp hit the dragon because he knows about that Inscription of Ruin that's still in hand here for Görtzen.
It's like, I'm going to mind route you here.
And away goes Tristan's hand, and his life total is now down to 1. This is a big top deck. Ooh, Alrund's Epiphany. That could buy him a lot of time. Oh, Simon doesn't like that. He's shaking his head.
Not.
And another Alrund's Epiphany. Now he doesn't have the mana yet.
That buys you a little more time. Probably don't want to attack with either bird.
Oh, geez. Tristan with back-to-back Epiphanies to maybe scratch back into this thing.
For the time being, though, he doesn't have the iteration. So it's just making it so he's not dead. Yes. Right, this turn for Simon was huge. He went Headless Rider into Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I don't think so. Tristan basically has to go Epiphany here. That'll give him a bunch of blockers, and the Divide by 0 was also a good draw.
It was, but boy, I'll tell you that Hive of the Eye Tyrant is definitely not what Tristan wanted to see follow up the Headless Rider. That's a really annoying card. Menace and 3 toughness versus your 1/1 blockers is just so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing here is Tristan can set it up where he now can go divide by 0 your Headless Rider if you activate your Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Simon will not be able to recast it. You go fetch your Mascot Exhibition, and all of a sudden, you've stabilized.
Oh, boy. So what does that mean from Simon's perspective?
You're
Does
sad?
he play around stuff like this at this point?
Well, no, you can't afford to. Tristan had no cards, right? You just continue to attack and hope your opponent dies.
Oh, how about duress off the top?
That was incredible.
Oh my goodness.
That was insane.
Wow, what a useful piece of information to have.
No Mascot Exhibition for you, Tristan.
Oh, incredible.
Jeez.
Now Tristan has to just say, okay, it's gone. Is there a Hall of Storm Giants activation available? There is. So that's the only thing keeping Tristan alive right now. Because Simon can attack with a 3/3 menace and 2 other creatures. So he has lethal. But the Hall of Storm Giants could be annoying.
Remember, whenever a zombie dies, he does get a 2/2 here. So the Tainted Adversary. So these are all fine attacks. Because even if Headless Rider trades with a bird, you're still getting a 2/2 out of the deal.
Another a lethal attacker. That's right. Wow, what a close one. That duress for Simon. Okay, the Hive of the Eye Tyrant's going to eat something from the yard, and awake comes Hall of Storm Giants, and now we're going to see a double block on the Hive, and then single blocks on the other creatures. One's going to be a trade, one's going to be a chump. All the birds will die here. The Hall will stay alive. But
the Hall will still, but we're going to get
a 2/2 left over from the Headless Rider.
There will be a 2/3 and a 2/2 left over.
Versus just the Hall.
Just
and a top deck of Cindercloud. Oh.
And that's not enough.
That's not quite enough.
Simon just has to attack with both of his creatures.
Oh my, he got so close so many times, but Simon Görtzen, with a slow blink of the eye, picks up game number 2 and moves one step away from a top 8.
I mean, that duress was so perfect because it gave him just enough mana to also activate his Hive of the Eye Tyrant.
It was unbelievable, Paul. It was perfection. It also just stopped that line that you talked about where there's nothing he could do. And, just to rewind, if Tristan said, okay, fine, I'm not going to let you duress away my divide by 0, I'll just bounce something with it and go get my key winner here, Mascot Exhibition, then he just takes that instead, so you don't get it either way.
Right. I mean, Tristan could have just chosen to bounce and not get anything.
Yeah,
right?
I think that would probably be the best idea. Just
right, because then Simon has to make the choice of playing a creature or attacking with Hive of the Eye Tyrant.
But he just let it get to rest away. We got some cool customers here, by the way. These two players, they are not phased. I mean, there was some incredible swings that game, and the most you got was maybe an eyebrow raise out of one or the other. They are dialed in. But, whatever. It's our job to get excited, Paul. We can do it for them. And,
I mean, we've known Simon for quite some time now. He's a pretty cool customer,
to say the least.
To say the least.
Yeah, and Tristan's shown he's got that same demeanor.
Oh, yeah.
Now, maybe, whoever wins this will show us a little. Sometimes you got to stay focused in the moment. Let's get into game number 3 here between Simon Görtzen and Tristan Wylde-LaRue. This is for top 8. One game. Ooh, Cinderclasm off the top.
Cinderclasm was a good one because Tristan's opener, not a lot of removal. And Simon's opener, I mean...
Bunch of small creatures, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and that just that sizing of that Tainted Adversary, that third toughness.
So good.
Third toughness, so big.
Is he going to play it here? Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's just so nice. And because this is going to, force Tristan to say, well, if you want to get this Champion of the Parish off the board with Cinderclasm, you just got to do it now.
Yeah. Well,
Can't wait around.
So, I mean, now Tristan might be looking to set up a turn where he goes iteration into Cinderclasm.
Yeah,
right?
That will probably kill everything. I mean, I guess the champion could get out of range technically, but But generally speaking, yeah, that Simon's creatures won't survive 4 damage. Okay, he's got in. So Simon's off to a good start here. He's got Tristan down to 14, but you see a lot of potential in hand here for Tristan. He really needs to hit that land drop next turn, though.
I mean, if you're the thing is, if Simon plays anything here, Tristan's just going to go ahead and Cinderclasm, right? That's going to kill the champion of the parish and that creature that enters the battlefield.
But that would hold him off from Behold.
That would, but he can cast the Behold on your turn to make sure you still hit your land drops.
Right. Tristan's got a really good shot of hitting those land drops thanks to Behold the Multiverse.
If you're expecting Cinderclasm, perhaps Undead Butler is the card you want to play.
Okay.
Right? Because then if you do have a Cinderclasm, you can still get one of your creatures back.
He's going to play the Butler, is Simon Görtzen. He's respecting the possibility of Cinderclasm, and he's going to force the issue here. Tristan can get both the Butler and the Champion of the Parish right now, but something's coming back to hand, so the grind is on. And it's going to be that Champion of the Parish
and
back in the hand. And look at the setup from Simon.
Yeah.
He can just play it straight away and pass the turn back. Okay, that's not a land off the top, so it's going to have to be Behold. And there we go. A couple of beautiful lands here for Tristan Wylde-LaRue. Probably just going to keep both, right? Yeah.
Yeah, don't want to risk losing your missing your land drops and
taking a thump in this turn though.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anything going.
I don't know if Simon's in a position to play around a second Cinderclasm.
Well, he didn't run out Jadar straight away.
So, but Jadar is not a zombie, so
no, makes him, but isn't one.
And doesn't quite have enough snowlands here to attack with the Faceless Haven either.
I think he would have done that had he had it, but yeah, he's going to have to consider playing either the Hagra Mauling or the Agadim's Awakening as a land.
Yeah,
if he wants to keep his land drops flowing.
This is tough because you have to consider that Tristan might have Goldspan Dragon, right? Might have an egg. At the same time, if you play Hagra Mauling tap this turn, you do have the potential of running out that wolf next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, I mean, Tristan, it looks like he's in some trouble here, but Simon doesn't have hand disruption. Tristan has unexpected windfall. He's got iteration already. He's not that far away here from putting together his combo.
There's so much potential in Tristan Wylde-LaRue's hand. Right now, it does nothing basically, but oh my goodness, those unexpected windfalls. You know, if you get an iteration into a windfall, it's huge. And Simon played his land untapped there, Paul.
He's trying to represent Infernal Grasp because he doesn't believe that his life total matters.
Right, that makes sense. Very cool. I love this. The awkward part about it, though, is that it does preclude him from playing Lolth this turn, right?
Yes, and that was the risk, right? That was what his thought process was at the time. Do I want to have Hagra Mauling up in case, you play a Smoldering Egg, in case you play a Goldspan Dragon?
And he decided that that was more important than guaranteeing Lolth for this turn. So, unexpected windfall. Oh,
That's not going to do
lands. There is a Spikefield hazard, but I'll tell you, I think that Simon's going to be pretty happy that this is what gets hit because he had a redundant copy of Jadar in hand anyway.
Yeah, so now we're going to see Tristan go down to 5.
This is getting very serious here. Simon's really trying to close the door on Tristan.
And if you play this Jadar, you do play around Cinderclasm. The Champion of the Parish will become a 3/3 here. That would force Tristan to iteration a Cinderclasm if he finds one.
There's Jadar Ghoul Caller of Nephalia. End step.
He's like, all right, I got 2 Lolth. I got to play this land.
Yeah, just got to run it out there.
Okay.
This is huge, and it's thirst for discovery for Tristan. Again, more potential, right? Unexpected windfall. There anything could happen, but he really needed his home runs here, not the cards that set you up. So
all right,
he's going to go for a huge unexpected windfall times 2.
6
and
mana.
Let's see what he can hit.
He'll have 6 mana here.
He's got gold span
That's
into
not
double
gonna do it.
lands. That is not enough for Tristan. Oh, devastating turn of events for Tristan Wylde-LaRue.
What can he even find here? 3 fading hopes?
Right, that's what you're starting to look at here, right? Because Cinderclasm's not going to do it anymore. There's 2 3 toughness creatures, and they're lethal for Simon Görtzen.
And Simon even found Snowland number 3 here. He can activate Faceless Haven and attack with that if he wants as well. He is probably mindful of iteration into Cinderclasm, though. Maybe that's why he's not choosing to attack there.
Okay, this is it. Thirst for Discovery is going to see a Cinderclasm.
Nope, that's not enough. That's a Demon Bolt to kill the 3/3, but that's 5 damage.
And that's going to do it. Simon Görtzen locks up a top 8 finish here